Vamos lá. A Spira bring the stranger to her. Então temos o Stranger, o Vessel, a Fury. Esse outro. Quantas foram já? Stranger, Spectre, Fury. Eu fiz 3 vezes? Spectre, Stranger e Fury, é isso? É. Spectre, Stranger e Fury. Tá bom. Tá, e agora? Agora eu vou quieto.
You make your way up.
Eu vou falar com a
The
princesa.
interior of the cabin is almost in the blade. The door to the basement creaks up her voice.
Hello?
Don't let it fool you.
Eu vou salvar ela. Eu tô aqui pra te salvar.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Eu deixei a faca lá em cima.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
Eu vou ver o que eu posso fazer. Deixa eu examinar as correntes.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Eu vou verificar lá em cima. Talvez a chave ainda esteja jogada por aí. Se não tiver, eu talvez possa encontrar alguma coisa pra te libertar.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Ei, me deixe sair daqui!
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Não. Tentar a porta.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Voltar profunda.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
Bom, isso é verdade. Aí eu conseguia libertar a princesa.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
Eu também acho. Oi, risada, bom dia.
She barely hesitates
Meu
before
Deus.
raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
Esse é um jogo de horror chamado Slay the Princess. Um jogo de amor também.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Salvar a princesa, é.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground.
Fecha, você vai morrer de sangramento, moça.
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Então, esse jogo, Cyber, foi traduzido por pessoas... Não foi da empresa, tá? É uma tradução feita por fãs. Eles ainda estão terminando de dar uns ajustezinhos. Mas tá bem boa por enquanto. Oi, Max Steel. É, não tentem se casa. Aproximar-se da porta
We won't have
trancada.
any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
E você vai fazer o quê? Sou o narrador?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Não, não.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Você não pode fazer isso.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
Não! Vou avisar. Princesa, me mata!
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Sim, não faz isso!
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart.
E você podia fazer isso desde o começo? Por que tu não fez, seu pilantra?
But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Não! Eu vou resistir.
The blade. Move the blade.
Não!
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Tá bom.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake.
Por ela, vai.
For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
Não.
Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
Oh.
It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. and you die.
Adeus, mundo cruel. Capítulo 2. A Donzela.
You're on a path, you're here.
Déjà vu.
Terrible sense. If he doesn't remember what happened, then...
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Apaixonado. Ah, o jogo começou de novo, como se fosse risada. O jogo é assim. A gente chega lá no porão, mata a princesa, fala com a princesa, alguma coisa da princesa. Tá? E o jogo meio que começa de novo, eu volto pro começo ou algum tipo de começo.
Our beloved?
Yes, you'll have to be
Very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
Nós quatro? Herói, apaixonado, narrador e eu? Deve ser. Tipo Undertale. Ah, princesa e você. E por que é 4 então?
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Ah, sim. Então, fez certo. Falei certo. Mas isso é mais um déjà vu.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it...
Digamos que eu esteja dizendo a verdade, que tudo de fato aconteceu. Por que eu discutaria? Por que me incomodaria?
Those are two very... Let's say for a moment, if you're back...
You were the one who did us in, villain.
Verdade.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her.
Verdade.
Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price.
I beg to differ.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations.
Eu vou tentar salvar a princesa de novo, seu narrador idiota.
Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing it? What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical, if it's the latter, do you think the people...
She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme.
Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
Eu estou com eles. Vou encontrar uma maneira de salvar ela da cabana.
That's right. You can't stop all of us.
We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does.
Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with?
Sim.
You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
É interessante que o mundo não mudou, né? Vamos falar sobre a princesa. A única razão pela qual ela conseguiu me matar da última vez foi porque eu não deixei. Ela mal conseguia segurar uma lâmina. Como ela vai acabar com o mundo?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world.
Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
Beleza, Wish. Quem prendeu o porão no porão?
Look. Oh. I didn't... Of course.
Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice.
Jonas, seja bem-vindo, você virando assim, ó.
Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
Antipatia.
I've told you everything you need to know, not to sound like a... Great, now...
Ah, eu posso ir embora, mas não, a gente vai salvar a princesa.
A warning, she will...
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
True.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
Sim, ela tá presa na porão da cabana.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Como será que é a cabana dessa vez?
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Aproximar-se do
You
espelho.
walk up to the wall next to the basement door. What are you talking about? This is... You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin, but there was a mirror.
And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Eita, de verdade. A cabana tá diferente.
Very different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting
Mas eu
yourself
levo a
get
lâmina ou
distracted.
não levo a lâmina? Acho que eu vou levar, né? Vou pegar a lâmina.
You take the blade from the table.
I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword.
Verdade.
That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies.
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us again. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job.
Vamos entrar no porão.
The door to the basement creaks open,
Olha, tem
revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
No.
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
Acho que ele se apaixonou muito rápido.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
Ah,
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
isso aí.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
E que a gente não ia voltar.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
Foi o que eu falei.
That's right, villain, and you killed us.
Well, she killed us.
Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
É pateticamente engraçado.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
Você queria ser o primeiro o quê?
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Ele falou alguma coisa de ser o primeiro, né? Quem botou o Sanji no jogo? Eu tenho que perguntar, você acabou com o mundo? Ou sinto muito pelo que aconteceu? O narrador me enviou aqui pra te matar e assumiu meu corpo. Foi extremamente injusto. Vou falar isso.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
That's because she's perfect.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
Tem certeza? Você não sabe?
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Eu tenho que te cortar de novo? Eu não gostei de fazer isso da última vez.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
Não, eu também acho, herói, mas eu quero salvar ela, porque as outras versões eu já vi o que acontece.
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Não. Por que você me matou da última vez? Ah, não. O que aconteceu depois que eu morri?
You died, and now we're talking.
Ah. Mas antes de começarmos a conversa, o mundo acabou? Você acabou com o mundo?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Não.
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Não, eu não quero que o mundo acabe. Eu não tenho sentimento sobre o fim do mundo de uma maneira. Honestamente, o mundo é péssimo. As pessoas são uma praga e eu espero que traga uma ruína lenta e dolorosa. Não, eu não quero que o mundo acabe.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. I'm not so sure.
Você me matou.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we?
We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
True.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
Resgatar a princesa.
No. I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll...
You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
Yes.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
É isso aí!
You wouldn't.
I would. I'd listen to him if I were you.
He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
Tá, né?
I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Finalmente, a princesa tá feliz! E a gente também!
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
Como? Ela meio que já aconteceu umas vezes, risada.
Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
Eu nunca salvei a princesa, não sei, princesa, o que a gente faz agora? É uma coisa tão nova que... O que a gente vai fazer? O que você quer fazer?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Eu quero que você me diga o que você quer. Você deve ver alguma coisa que você queira. Você quer acabar com o mundo. Você deve querer alguma coisa. Ah, não, tem mais coisa. Algo não está certo, desculpa. Não vou fazer isso. Se você quer sair, então vamos sair. Eu só quero sair, podemos descobrir depois ou... Eu quero que você me diga o que você quer.
I just want to make you happy.
Aww.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Eu quero a felicidade. Eu quero que você me faça infeliz. Nossa senhora, não. Mas você precisa ter sua própria coisa. Você acabou de me conhecer. Você não pode se basear toda a felicidade em torno de mim.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
Is she broken? What's going on?
É verdade, ela...
What's
Tá
going
estranho.
on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
Não, ela... Você tem que querer algo a mais do que apenas fazer feliz.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Os desenhistas estão desenhando diferente agora.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
I just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
Eu ganhei um achievement, eu nem vi qual que é o nome. And they lived happily ever after. Ah, as mãozinhas. Tchau, mãozinhas!
No, she's gone. Where does she... Is that a mirror?
Aproximar do espelho. E agora, como a gente tá? Você desmanchou. Aqui, ó. Eu não tenho mais corpo, eu tô desmanchado. Pô, mas achei que eu ia ficar bem. Pô, a princesa nem morreu.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I'm curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Quebrei a princesa de novo, quebrei a princesa de novo. Há um mundo além das paredes infinitas do longo silêncio. Estou curiosa para ver o que significa conhecê-lo. Você acha que há pessoas lá?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Você acha que algo lá é real? Você acha que nós somos reais?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
O que você acha desse receptáculo?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
Você sabe o que vai acontecer quando você despertar?
If I did, I would already be awake.
Quando você me manda de volta, eu não estou só. Há vozes que falam comigo. Algumas são eu, mas uma delas é algo diferente. Eu o chamo de narrador e ele quer que eu te mate. Você tem um narrador? Os receptáculos tiveram um?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Sim. Sim, eu não sei porquê, mas eu sei que é um fato. Sim, eu não sei o que eu vou fazer quando encontrar. Sim, e quando encontrar você e eu podemos finalmente ter resposta? Sim. E quando encontrar eu vou matá-lo? Sim, você vai... Mas você vai ter que manter isso em segredo, não é... Sim, mas eu não sei porquê, mas eu sei que é um fato.
I am
Ele
on the
falou.
cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
Quanto mais receptáculos eu preciso te trazer?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
Se essa é a última, tem algo que você quer que traz?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
Bom, da última vez que eu fiquei aqui, ela fechou o jogo, né? Então eu estou pronto.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Olha, dessa vez ele não esperou eu clicar.